when stuff like this happens, there's usually not an insurmountable amount of evidence or just incriminating findings that would deem the accused as guilty. But in this situation, there is an insurmountable amount of evidence against this nigga. Yo, peace and high vibes. We live in the Hive. Come rock with number 9, man. We in this month. Feel me? We in this jump. Y'all see by the title what we finna get into. Turn on my post notice to keep up with me. And yeah, man. I'm sure y'all already heard about this D4. I don't know how to say his name, bro. I never even heard of this nigga for real. But I see that apparently the rap game got a serial killer. So let's get into it. I mean, look at the nigga face, jaw, like. That screams serial killer. Let me fix this stuff. You big, this screams unprofessional. All right, bet. Video by Blackie Speaks. Let's get to it.
Now, if you've been on social media the last week, you probably heard about the viral story surrounding popular singer David, spelled D4VD. It started when the body of a Jane Doe was found inside a Tesla registered to him. At first, there was no confirmation that David had any connection to her until now. The David story just got really dark, and in this video, I'm going to break it down all together with you. So
it's an interesting painting you got back there. Some nigga might be an accomplice of David. But, bro, when this story first dropped that the nigga Tesla was in an impound lot and dead body in the junk, I'm saying here, like, bro is the worst serial killer ever, nigga. Because, I mean, whatever TV show you watched misled the shit out of you, nigga. I don't know why you would try that. It's an impound lot. You think people aren't spinning through an impound lot? Like, if anything, do a junkyard, nigga. But dead body is a dead body, nigga. That shit's gonna reek.
Drop a like on this video because you're in for one hell of a story. Now, before we get into the latest developments, let's rewind for a second because just a few days ago, this is what we knew. Popular singer David, spelled D4VD, a 20-year-old Houston-raised artist who blew up on TikTok with his song Romantic Homicide, a sleeper hit with over 1.6 billion streams on Spotify that opened the door for him to a major record deal, global recognition, tours, and major brand collabs. On the surface,
I ain't gonna lie, it's like I'm definitely gonna say this in light of recent events, but you're gonna sit here and say the nigga don't like look like he on that
major record deal.
Look at his eyes, bro. Look at his eyes, bro. If you follow me long enough, eventually I'm gonna talk about everything that I know about eyes and how they really tell a lot about a person.
Recognition,
but just look
tours,
at his
and major brand.
Just look at his, bro. Why does he have so many pictures where he looks like this? To the point where it's to the point where I think this is unintentional. The nigga literally
collapsed. On the surface, he was just a young star living the dream life. But about a week ago, Los Angeles police made a discovery, one that would soon be connected to David himself. On September 8th, 2025, police in Los Angeles found a decomposed body inside a Tesla, and that Tesla was registered to a David Burke, which turned out to be popular singer David himself. According to reports, workers at an impound lot noticed a foul odor coming from the car. When they opened up the Tesla's trunk, they discovered human remains stuffed inside a bag. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner described her as a female, about 5'2", weighing just 71 pounds, which equals to 32 kilograms for my international viewers. She had wavy black hair, metal stud earrings, a yellow bracelet, and a tattoo on her right index finger that literally read, "Shh," like, "Shh, quiet." At the time, her name wasn't released, but those details alone were shocking as they were considering who this car was connected to. The LAPD confirmed the vehicle had been sitting in the yard for days, and they even had to call David himself, who was on tour at the time, to inform him that his car had a body inside of it. And David was cooperating with the police and claimed he had no knowledge of what they found. But while that was happening, the fallout started hitting him hard. Clothing brand Hollister, who had just launched a campaign with David, pulled his images from their website and seemingly ended their relationship with the singer quietly. And at the same time, the internet was asking a lot of questions, right? How did this young popular artist with no history of violence suddenly get tied to something this disturbing? For the past week, things have been up in the air with no real answers, but what's come out since then changes everything. A week after the news broke, we finally got confirmation of who that person was. According to NBC News, the victim was identified through forensics as 15-year-old Celeste Arias. Celeste had been reported missing out of Lake Elsinore back in April of 2024.
Wait,
according to authorities, she left missing.
Why did this just dawn on me?
Answers, but what's come out since then changes everything. A week after the news broke, we finally got confirmation of who that person was. According to NBC News, the victim was identified through forensics as 15-year-old Celeste Arias. Celeste had been reported missing out of Lake Elsinore back in April of 2024. According to authorities, she left her
April of 2024, and then she pops up dead in a rapper's car a year and a half later to specify.
home around 9 p.m. one evening and never came back. Her family put out flyers, posted her photos, and pleaded for anyone with information to come forward so their baby girl could be brought home. At the time of her disappearance, she had last been seen wearing gray pants, a black sweater, and Hello Kitty sandals. So when police connected the remains inside David's Tesla to Celeste through forensic testing, it wasn't just a tragic discovery. It was the end of a year-long search her family had been desperately holding on to hope for. Authorities also said that she had likely been dead inside that Tesla for an extended period of time before the body was discovered. Right now, the exact cause of death has not yet.
Especially if it was bad enough for it to smell to the point where where people are noticing it and something's throwing them all off. Yeah, she had been gone for a while, bro. Yo, this is crazy, fool. Nah, I'm interested in the story like shit now, cause this is my true crime problem too. Cause in actuality, in real life, there's nothing that should be entertaining about a child going missing and popping up in a dead person, popping up in a person's car. But yo, why was he with a missing 15-year-old, and is he the reason she was missing?
Before the body was discovered. Right now, the exact cause of death has not yet been determined. The LAPD says the coroner has not classified the case as a homicide or released a manner of death, and there are no suspects at this time. As for David himself, real name David Burke, a spokesperson said he was informed of the situation and that he is fully cooperating with authorities. At the time, like we stated, he was of course on tour, but his scheduled show in Seattle was canceled immediately after the news broke. So with Celeste now identified, the tragedy hit even harder. A 15-year-old little girl who had been missing since 2024 was found in the trunk of a car registered to a popular singer in the music industry. Just as the internet was trying to process what happened, police have officially made their next move, and it shows just how serious they're taking this case right here. Within 48 hours of Celeste being officially identified, investigators made their next move. Police executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where David had been staying. He doesn't own the property, but sources confirmed it was a place he had been living recently. And here's where things get more serious. TMZ reports that the home was actually rented by David's manager, and detectives did not leave empty-handed. LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division walked out with several evidence bags and a computer. Photos and videos posted earlier this year even showed David inside the house, singing with producer Benny Blanco in the kitchen and dancing in the living room. TMZ compared the interiors of that footage to real estate listings, and they matched the property that police searched. Neighbors also recall seeing that same Tesla parked outside the house for days before it was eventually towed, a car with Texas plates and a big dent that stood out on the street. At the time, no one thought much of it, but looking back now, perhaps it was no coincidence.
And that's
so for now, police haven't classified this as...
That's crazy as fuck, because I low-key, not even low-key, in my neighborhood, there's always a car that seems to be parked outside my crib, just randomly, like at the end of the cul-de-sac. And the neighbors will be thinking, yo, whose fucking car is this? We'll be thinking the same thing. And we be speculating like, yo, what if it's a dead body in there, bro? What if it's a serial killer trying to stow some shit away? Whole time, it really be the case sometimes, nigga. This is why you have to take that precaution and just question it. Because I literally told my mom one day, like, what if it's a dead body in there? Here we are, that exact situation taking place.
A homicide because the medical examiner...
I'm sorry, bro, as a grown man. I feel like I don't fault you for drinking out of a straw, but you're drinking a Monster out of a straw, my nigga. You didn't even pour it in a glass and drink it out of a straw. You got the straw in the Monster can.
Still hasn't determined exactly how Celeste died. The Tesla was abandoned and towed on...
Pretty peculiar, my nigga.
No coincidence. So for now, police haven't classified this as a homicide because the medical examiner still hasn't determined exactly how Celeste died. The Tesla was abandoned and towed on September 6th, and just 2 days later, workers at the impound lot made the grim discovery. Investigators say the case now depends on the coroner's findings. And so far, the process has apparently been very difficult. I'm assuming it's probably because, her body was decomposed, so that would make a lot of sense, right? No arrests have been made so far, but the fact that LAPD homicide detectives are searching homes connected to David shows just how closely they're closing in on his world.
The nigga look like, listen, you telling me he ain't make this in his likeness, nigga? You telling me he ain't make this in his image? If he made this at all? This is really throwing me off. But this nigga face throw me off, fool. On an energetic level. Like, I don't wanna say it's because of, once again, in light of recent events, but I'm just now finding out about this nigga for real, and this nigga's face gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Are searching homes connected to David.
Nigga face make me want to grab some holy water.
Shows just how closely they're closing in on his
Make me want to go grab some garlic.
world. And if that wasn't enough, okay, the plot has thickened even more, and we got some new details that make the story.
And that's a zero sugar
how
monster,
closely
my
they're
nigga.
closing in on his world. And if that wasn't enough,
Nigga drinking a zero sugar monster with a straw.
okay,
2025.
okay, the plot has thickened even more, and we got some new details that make the story darker than anyone expected. Here's where things get even darker. According to TMZ, investigators may be looking at a direct connection between David and Celeste herself, and after TMZ got a tip that the victim might be Celeste, they reached out to her mother, and her mother confirmed two things. Number one, first, that Celeste apparently had a boyfriend named David. And number two, that she had a tattoo on her right index finger that said, shh. Now that right there is not new information, right? It lined up exactly with what the initial reports.
But yo, as a grown ass man, as a grown ass man with a successful career, why are you fucking with a 15-year-old to the point where her mom knows that y'all are a thing? Fuck is going on here?
We're saying, but here's where things get crazy, because David himself has the exact same tattoo inked on his right index finger, and on the screen right now you'll see a picture of that. So let's just keep this on the screen for a second if you want to check it out, because I don't want you rewinding this and going out of your way to rewind it. So as you guys can see, here's the picture. Looking, you see it? Great. Let's keep it moving. All right, so
I was wondering why he
this
kept
is already
that tattoo.
a lot. I ain't even gonna lie, this is a lot. Okay, so let's just sit with this for a second. They found a body in a Tesla registered to David. It ends up being 15-year-old Celeste Arias, who's been missing since April 2024. Ma Dukes, Celeste's mother, said her daughter had a boyfriend named David, and on top of all that, they both got the same tattoo.
So when he kept mentioning that too, I'm sitting here like, yo, what's the relevancy, gang? But that's wild. You got a matching tat with a 15-year-old, fool. And then when the story first dropped that a body was found in the Tesla at the impound lot, he said he was gonna try to comply. I read an article. It said he had an alibi, all of that. I thought he was gravy. I thought it was all gravy in the Navy. But whole time, this nigga was trying to get off. Yo, this nigga's a psychopath, fool. He's a psychopath. He gotta be.
Finger. And it doesn't stop there, because the plot just keeps on getting thicker.
He always got
because
a new
TMZ
prop.
didn't just talk to Celeste's mom. They actually published photos and even a video that appear to show David and Celeste together. On the screen right now, you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just keep it on the screen for a second or two just so you can watch it, so you don't have to rewind.
Now they have proof, nigga. They have proof that there's a relationship, even outside of the matching tattoo. Yeah, he's cooked. The nigga did it. I was going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, man, industry shit, gang. Industry setting them up. This is humiliation, ritual, and sellout. This how they getting this nigga gone right here, man.
See it right there?
Sucks.
All right.
Whole time.
And out of respect for her family, I've blurred her face in any of the visuals in this video, okay?
She's a
According
minor,
to TMZ,
so
one of the photos shows them sitting together at a booth at a venue, both of them wearing black. Now, TMZ also pointed out something very interesting, which was David is wearing the same exact shirt in that booth photo as he wore in a picture with singer Billie Eilish back in October 2023.
Damn. Yo, is this nigga's thing, bro? Because, like, I seen it once and I wasn't going to comment on it. I see that was a mistake. And then I've seen it 2 times. Like, he just naturally always, not even naturally, he just always has this little acne patch on. And it's always smack in the middle of his forehead. See, this is a nigga you can't trust, bro. You can't trust a nigga that uses acne patches as a fashion choice.
And that photo is right here, okay? Now, this is what TMZ stated, and in no way, shape, or form is this particular connection a sign of anything beyond what they reported. It's just an observation they made to support the photo being authentic, okay? And it wasn't just photos, however, okay? TMZ also posted a live stream from January 2024 showing the two of them on camera together answering questions from fans. In the clip, you can hear what appears to be Celeste telling David to respond to a comment. That's a direct interaction on video, and it's left a lot of people asking questions. And remember, this is a 15-year-old girl we're talking about.
Wait, so how old is Braz? How old is Braz? He's 20? Okay, yeah. I don't understand this nigga at all. You big, I would hope you don't understand the pedo.
Now, TMZ, who obviously they've been putting in some work on this story, right?
Yeah, I thought TMZ was washed.
More digging. And what they claim is this. They found another photo of David in Lake Elsinore, the same city where Celeste went missing back in April 2024 after leaving her home around 9 p.m. and never coming back. For context, Lake Elsinore is about 70 miles outside of Los Angeles, and it's where Celeste lived with her family. And here's the part that made people react, okay? The photo that TMZ stated that they have was taken just a 6-minute walk from Celeste's family home. Once again, I want to make it clear, this is what TMZ reported. I'm not saying that this, says anything. I'm just reporting what they said.
And on a conspiracy theory point of view, can't really trust TMZ like that. They the hub of pushing narratives and getting celebs looking a certain way, propagandizing all of that, exposing celebs. Like, they the hub of this shit. So just want to put that out there. Let that be known, nigga.
Okay. And also, just so we're on the same page here, police have not named a suspect in Celeste's death. But according to TMZ, for detectives to even get that search warrant on the Hollywood Hills home that David lived in but doesn't own, that's what led investigators to seize a computer and multiple evidence bags from the property. Now, since I want to be very mindful of how I cover this particular story, consider...
Are y'all going to sit here and tell me that every picture of this nigga has not looked eerie? Eerie, creepy, just something to throw off your energy and give you the heebie-jeebies, my nigga. Like, literally every picture.
That's what even get that search warrant on the Hollywood Hills home that David lived in but doesn't own. That's what led investigators to seize a computer and multiple evidence bags from the property. Now, since I want to be very mindful of how I cover...
Nigga look like a villain from The Boys.
...cover this particular story, considering how sensitive it is, let me just say it like this, right? There are other photos and videos of Celeste and David floating around social media, but I won't be showing those here. Her family just got the worst possible news of their life, and I want to keep that in mind as I break the story down. So we're sticking strictly to what's been reported publicly by verified outlets. That way we keep it respectful, accurate, and, above all else, responsible, right? Now, this next part is wild as well, because there's this video that surfaced online that TMZ published, which is a video of one of Celeste's alleged former teachers talking about her in class. He pulled out his phone, showed students a photo of himself with Celeste, and said he had taught her years ago. And according to this teacher, Celeste first disappeared after meeting David on social media. He claims this, right? And he even claims that she ran away to Hollywood with him before police eventually tracked her down and returned her to her mother.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
The teacher says that she went missing again in May 2024, 1 month after she was reported missing in April of 2024, and that was the last he heard of her until now. He told his class he was sharing this as a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media. Again, this is what the teacher is claiming, but as you guys can see, I just played the video, right? The plot definitely keeps getting thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. And on that note, there's also a bunch of Discord messages floating around the internet right now that people are connecting to this story. Since I personally can't verify if they're accurate or not, I won't be showing them in this video. But what I will say is this: they're out there and they're adding a whole other layer of speculation to this case right here. Now here's another layer people online have been talking about. A leaked song that's been floating around where David allegedly mentions Celeste by name. Supposedly the track is titled Celeste. Now let's be very clear. I have no clue where this comes from. Is it legit? Is it AI?
Yeah, he can't be a psychopath. Psychopaths aren't stupid. He's stupid.
I can't verify that. And that's exactly
if it's a real song, clearly, you know what I'm saying? If that's a real song.
Well, I'm not going to play it here, but it's been circulating, and the fact that people even believe this record exists has added another wild twist to the narrative. And by the way, just to be clear, it's an actual song, like it's an existing song.
I would hate to be a crime investigation unit or homicide investigation, because nigga, motherfuckers is making AI evidence and shit, bro. Out here confusing niggas, bro. Imagine Sherlock trying to get shit done in this generation.
But I just can't verify if it's a real song, if you get what I'm saying. Because sometimes people might make certain things with AI because a story is big. You get what I'm saying? Now, with everything we just laid out, let's talk about the fallout, because things are starting to spiral.
It's not a real song. It doesn't
right
exist.
After Celeste was officially identified, David hit a pause on his world tour. He was actually going to perform in Europe, like places like Copenhagen, Stockholm, I believe London as well, and
big.
Poland if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like the tour has been put on hold as of today. On top of the tour getting shut down, a few popular artists in the industry have already started distancing themselves from David. One of those artists is Uchis, a very talented singer who, the last time I checked, she was in a relationship with Don Toliver, and I believe they actually had a baby. She actually teamed up with David earlier this year on a song called Crashin' from his debut album Withered.
Definitely
but after
crashed.
The news broke about Celeste, Uchis publicly responded on Instagram saying that the collab is in the process of being taken down from streaming services. And when people in her comments try to blame her for working with him, she fired back saying that's just internalized misogyny. In other words, women always getting blamed for what men do, which happens. Aside from that, Canadian pop star Tate McRae, one of the biggest names in the mainstream right now, has also decided to unfollow David on social media. And like we already know, Hollister pulled him from their campaign as well. So as you guys could see, the industry is, the industry is reacting to this, okay? So right now, things are very much up in the air. Authorities haven't named a suspect, and they haven't even determined the exact cause of death. But the fact that they searched his home, seized evidence, they left with a computer, all these ties are being cut, it shows just how seriously they're treating this. For David, this isn't just a hit to his career. His entire world is hanging by a thread. You know, it's strange how this thing started with Celeste being found in that Tesla, and now it's turned into one of the most shocking stories the music industry has seen in a long time. This story is going to keep on developing, and eventually we'll get the truth of what happened to 15-year-old Celeste. And I trust that law enforcement will do their due diligence, because at the end of the day, this isn't just a headline right here. It's about a young girl and her family who deserve answers more than anybody. And as for David himself, his connection to Celeste is weird, it's strange, and honestly, it's pretty creepy in my opinion, right? I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm just saying, like, just the fact that he's even connected to this, especially considering her age, I think it's...
See, look, there's not really any, like, wiggle room for this nigga. There's not really any way you can try to defend him or excuse or act like he's not guilty. And it's only because, nigga, there's pictures of y'all together and y'all have matching tattoos. Listen, I'm what some people would consider to be a conspiracy theorist. I do not immediately believe the mainstream. I don't go with the status quo, feel me? When stuff like this happens, there's usually not an insurmountable amount of evidence or just incriminating findings that would deem the accused as guilty. But in this situation, there is an insurmountable amount of evidence against this nigga. You have a picture, y'all have matching tattoos, and there's proof of you going to her city around the time she was missing, nigga. And y'all was on a live together. Y'all was on a live together, my nigga. So there's proof of interaction because it was on a live Twitch stream. You can't doctor that.
Right? There are too many coincidences here for it not to raise eyebrows.
Yeah, it's
But
not a
since we don't know what
coincidence.
we don't know, it's hard to take a firm stance on what the truth actually
It's not a coincidence. It's an incriminating finding.
is, right? What I do know is that public opinion is forming fast, and that's why people are looking at this situation and saying something doesn't feel right. My number one concern here is that Celeste's family gets justice and that they find out what really happened to her, why it happened, and who was responsible. Because yeah, the internet's locked in since it's tied to a popular singer and this guy's famous, and nobody thought that he would ever be connected to something like this. But when you strip all that away, what matters most is the life that was lost. So my condolences go to Celeste's family, and I pray strength and comfort upon them during this time. I'll keep you guys updated as this story unfolds. You already know that I'm going to be behind this microphone breaking it down for you all the way.
Good vid, nigga. Good vid. Let's look at the comments. How quickly this situation turns so morbid. Nah, for real. I'll never understand how some men have access to women outside of their circle. I don't really know what that means. You can say innocent until proven guilty, but dude was 19. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 17 hanging around 13 is wild. But 19 with 15 is absurd. Yeah, that was good. The media keeps saying she was 15. She wasn't. She was 14. She just turned 14. She just turned 14. He started talking to her online when she was 11. You know what I think? I think this nigga, you know what I think? I think she probably scared him, or he was probably scared that she would tell or something like that, or wouldn't hold up to the thing that they have tatted on each other, and that's probably what led him to do this. But irregardless, this is horrifying, bro. I didn't even peep the chat. Yeah, facts. W teacher. Yes, yes. Okay, yeah, no, that's actually a very big thing to acknowledge, yo. If somebody is trying to isolate you from your loved ones, family or friends, don't trust that shit. Do not trust somebody that is trying to pull you away from your loved ones, because that is their way of getting total control over you. Especially an age gap like that. Like, bro, this is disturbing, bro. And people say that they would rather live in previous generations. Do y'all not understand? It was niggas like this in the 70s and 60s. But the difference is there ain't no CCTV. Ain't no internet, nigga. Ain't no protection of forensics the way that we do now. Feel me? Serial killers was going off back then. Nigga, they was having a field day. That's why you will never hear me delusionally say I would rather live in a previous generation, nigga. Bro, security cameras have effectively neutralized serial killers, fool. Completely nullified their ass. Crazy story right here, man. Crazy fucking story. Yeah, bro. That's the end of this video, man. Crazy story, fool. I feel really bad for the family, gang. I feel really bad for the family. That's the end of this jump. Y'all like this hoe to get me in the algorithm. Subscribe if you fuck with me. And number 9 signing off.